Vermont and Wyoming. Ask most people about these two states and they won't have much to say about them. But here in the World Alliance, there are two of the most feared names in the league. A Gen Bowl rematch kicks off Season 10 of the WFA the week slate as freshly minted Hall of Famer Jack Pekarczyk and his Wyoming Cavalry face off against hot quarterback prospect Rudy Rohan and the Vermont Bull Moose. These two teams are not just carried by their quarterbacks, but are backed up by some of the best to ever do it in the backfield, with reigning MVP Chris Dixon behind center in Wyoming, and behind Rudy Rohan, Season 6 MVP Bradley Davis, Cup in the rear. Now, will Vermont continue the legacy of the men from Montreal? Wyoming spoil the party for the boys from Burlington. It's all to play for here on the World Football Alliance YouTube page. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jack P, and alongside me here tonight is Jake. It's going to be a fun game, folks. It's going to be great. Vermont coming in, freshly relocated from Montreal, trading in the maple syrup for the Vermont maple syrup. Two very similar brands of maple syrup. Meanwhile, for Wyoming, a rough loss in the Gen Bowl to these Bull Moose, formerly known as the Berserkers, leads them wanting more. And these two teams last season were something to behold. Vermont and Wyoming only had 4 losses between the two, that including Wyoming's loss in the Gen Bowl. And Jake, if you can hear me, I mean, this is going to be a fun game, isn't it? Seems that he is not quite here at the moment, but still, once again, we got two of the best running backs to ever do it here. If you can hear me, Jake, if you want to break down a little bit of what we should be expecting, as once again, he's muted himself. Yeah, so looking from last season, these two teams were obviously among the best in the league. Vermont for Montreal finished 5-2 with 30 points per game, 18 allowed. Good enough for the 5th best offense and 7th defense. Meanwhile, on the flip side for Wyoming, they were very similar. Their offense wasn't that great, but the best rushing attack the league had seen. Obviously powered by Chris Dixon, but their passing game left a lot to be desired. Jack Pekarczyk in the backfield. The defense, though, for Wyoming, just as good, if not edged out Vermont. And now these two look to go back head-to-head. And really for Wyoming, I think the big thing that they should be looking at coming into this game and into Season 10 is, can you give Jack Pekarczyk a little lease on life? As we've seen so far throughout these games from yesterday and today, running back struggling. They haven't been able to get out of the backfield super consistently. Some have been okay, but Santa Fe had like negative rushing yards yesterday. That's not good. So they're gonna have to rely. There's Jake. If you want to break down what could happen, let's talk a little bit about what to expect from these two teams tonight.
Played one preseason game and exited. Washington that beat them in the Omaha Invitational? Washington didn't look good. And my fear is, so ever since Lions has taken over as owner, dating back to its Portland days, they have not had back-to-back good seasons. If I can get the team history up real quick.
I mean, the most obvious example has been the last 3 years. Season 7 went 4-0. Plummeted in Season 8 to 3-9, didn't even make the playoffs, and then bounced back to 6-1, made the bowl. Could they be due for another bit of a regression to the mean?
Yeah, and then that's what I think can happen. It's just consistently playoff, not playoff.
Well, I mean,
team,
20 of the
not
20.
a great team.
Yeah, 20 of the 24 teams are going to make it. And it looks like, really...
The Wolfpack won't be one of them.
Hey. Now, Jay, before we get this game going, I think we should have this. What is one matchup that you think is going to be really crucial in this game? That is the obvious one. Like, obviously, we're going to see, like, can Bradley handle Wyoming's defensive line? How can Rudy adjust the new pace of play? And I'm going to give you an interesting one. Vermont's Todd Taylor versus Wyoming's Deshaun Foster. Because Foster is the heart and soul of Wyoming's receiving core. He's pretty much all they have. And if Todd Taylor can't slow him down, Jack Picard very easily launch just missiles down the field. And Deshaun Foster could very easily take over this game for Wyoming, and Chris Dixon might not even be needed.
I don't know about the whole, like, Chris Dixon not being needed, because we saw, in Gen Bowl 9, Dixon got shut down by the Montreal defense and left it all on Jack P to, do everything, and it just didn't work. I think that connection in the passing game only works if they have Dixon to fall back on.
True, but still, it could be a very interesting matchup there for Taylor versus Foster. Keep an eye on that, folks, throughout the night. And with all that in mind, Jake, I say we quit our yap and we head down to Casper and we join our folks for the first time in Season 10. Game of the Week action is here in Wyoming as we bear witness to the Cavalry hosting the Vermont Bull Moose. The Bull Moose, quite the most anticipated team debut the WFA has seen in many seasons, since the Berserkers themselves they inherited. And it's exciting.
Yeah. Week 1, Season 10.
Yeah, it's been months, folks. 4 new teams coming to the league. From 20 to 24, a couple other reshufflings. Obviously, the one being these Vermont Bull Moose, now taking the spot of the reigning champions, Montreal Berserkers, looking to keep the dynasty alive with a new quarterback under center and a slightly big receiving core. And they're going to start with the football. They're going to start this game by seeing what Rudy Rohan can do first.
Excited to see this new look Vermont offense, but very excited to see Rudy Rohan, because entering the Rise League, I didn't think he was going to do anything. I predicted him to be one of the worst quarterbacks, and here he is, the future of the Vermont organization.
Kick is away, and we are off Casper. Bradley Davis shakes away some tacklers, gets to the 28. Yes, that is correct. Bradley Davis is the returner for this Bull Moose squad. A lot is expected of him, even more than in Montreal, where people said he wasn't being used as much as he should have been.
Yeah, I'm excited to see him because from what I've heard, Vermont's gonna, give him the ball more, let him run wild, which I'm excited to see, because I really don't think, looking at the historic stats, I don't think Bradley Davis has really been.
Bradley goes over the middle, and that's gonna be a first down from Rohan to another rookie, Blair Sheehan. A bit of a guy who went under the radar in the Rise League, looking 19th overall by the Bull Moose. Not where a lot of people were expecting him to go, and he's already getting used in this offense. First down and 10 once more for the Bull Moose. Ball's in the line. Rudy under center. Gonna hand it off to that's Tyson Allstott, fullback. Getting a little bit of love, also known as Tony, during the downtime.
And I'm going to step in during this downtime, Jack P, and be your wingman, because we can't leave you hanging. We can't let you talk about the Bull Moose the entire time.
I may be a narcissist, but I'm not that much of one. Second here for Rudy Rohan. Going to hand it off to Bradley Davis. First carry of the season. He gets 1 yard. Eric here, the defensive tackle rookie for this Wyoming Cavalry, with the stop.
Looks like Jake's good. We're going to give him another try. Here we go.
3rd down and 7, empty belt look for the Bull Moose. Rohan under center. Gonna be a deep drop for Rohan. Gonna launch it deep downfield. That is caught. Across the field is Woodson with the reception. One of the biggest offseason acquisitions of the Bull Moose. As he was blockbuster trade sending Ryan Roosevelt to Santa Fe. And Vermont, in return, acquired one of the best pass-catching tight ends this league has known. 1st and 10 now for the 38 of Vermont. Rohan drops back. He finds a man deep. That's Olinger. Olinger open. Touchdown, Vermont. Welcome to the league. What
and
a
the Jake's still
huge
figuring
play.
that out. I hope he didn't miss that play, Jack P, because that was something special.
Oh, yeah, and as you and I both know, Colin, Olinger is a next-level talent, and he's so fresh, too.
There's no doubt about it, man.
Yeah.
What a threat, what a target. He sets it like 5'4", 6'5", I believe, and this is his 2nd season, and I think he's only going to continue to improve.
Yeah, him and Blair, 2 very young receivers, but I think they have the potential to be some of the best in the league. Obviously, Rudy Rohan on his first drive, as the point after is good from Orlando Warfield. I mean, on the whole, that was a perfect drive from Vermont.
Yeah, that was a huge drive. I mean, right out the gate against Wyoming in their home stadium. I mean, Wyoming needs to answer because I think the crowd expects it tonight. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. They expect everything and more out of their Cavalry as the kick is away from Orlando Warfield. And after a punch in the mouth like that, this is where good football teams really shine through, is what happens to you when you get punched in the mouth. How do you respond?
Yeah, that's right. And I know a guy who's probably taken a few punches in the mouth and has fought back, and his name is Mr. Dixon.
Oh, yeah. A long career in the WFA, riddled with what-ifs and question marks. Finally got an MVP last season, and he's going to suit back up to be the bell back for these Cavalry boys. 1st and 10 from Wyoming's own 22-yard line. They're going to hand it off to Dixon to start, and Dixon a single yard. No more, no less, as Vermont is going to get a good one. Crash Dinkle. Second down and 9 now for the Cavalry. Split back is... They're going to go split back, and they're going to run it outside of Chris Dixon. Dixon is going to down towards the 45-yard line. Huge run from Chris Dixon. He is still not slowing down, not even an inch.
That's what we all came to see tonight, Jack. Chris Dixon does not disappoint. I mean, look in the lead blocking. Holy cow.
Yeah, and like a kind of an underrated aspect of both teams is their offensive lines. These 2 offensive lines were in the All-Star game last season, and they are all showing exactly how they got there. 1st and 10 once more for the Cavalry. Split back now to shun look for Wyoming, as Pekarchik's going to launch this one downfield. It's actually going to be a little bit of fun. 2nd and 4 after the 6-yard gain. Chris Dixon still getting involved, this time as a receiver.
Yeah, it just seems like they're not even paying attention to him on the field, which I can't believe. It's not like what you're focusing on here if you're Vermont. I know I'm talking to the coach here, but my gosh, he just seems to be wide open.
Yeah, 2nd and 4 now. I-form look for the Cavalry. They're going to run this one outside of Chris Dixon, and Dixon is gone. He's wide open. He's going to get taken down at the 18-yard line. And Dixon already exploding. And he's already putting a lot of the narratives about these running backs under the new playbook regulars to rest.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, he is doing whatever he wants to do, and just like that, Wyoming's in the red zone. We were wondering if they were going to answer back. I mean, looks like they are at least going to get 3 points out of this drive.
Yeah, in all likely, 1st and 10 now for Wyoming. Ball's on the 18. Nickel 3-3 look for the Bull Moose. Gonna hand it off to Dixon again. Dixon finds a hole, and he's gonna run right through a gain of 7 on the down to the 11. And it seems like the Vermont. Oh, that's Petey Sanchez, actually.
That was Mr. Sanchez giving Dixon a break. I mean, when you're running hard like that, you might need to get some oxygen in you.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the Bull Moose come back once again. Bit discombobulated on defense. Single back look for the Cavalry. Dixon off the outside. Dixon gets swallowed up in the backfield. Loss of 1 on the play. And that is Mr. Dangle for the Vermont Bull Moose. Vermont's linebacking core, not exactly talked about a whole lot, but they can be dangerous.
Yeah, Dingle and Dangle. I mean, a partnership in the making, looking good, and looking good right there too with the knockdown.
That is the linebacker, Fully Bonolo, that's going to take the credit for that one. And Marcus Vernon is going to have to come out and cut this lead down to 4. And Wyoming, while not a touchdown, I think they can say this is a very solid response to what Vermont just threw at them on offense.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you're going to take 3 here. You're not super happy about it, considering how hot you came out on this drive. But like I said, you'll take 3. You'll regroup. You'll try to stop the Bull Moose on their next drive. I also want to go ahead and say, Jack, that I think there might be a little bit of a delay between you and I. If there is, I apologize, but we're just doing the best we can here with what we got. It seems like Jake will not be joining us this evening. I was not planning or prepped to do this tonight, but we're going to make it work. But you're gonna lead us there, okay?
Yep. As always, it's gonna be the owners of this legendary franchise throughout its time. There's a third man associated with it, but we don't talk about him.
We don't.
So,
the redheaded stepchild of the franchise.
Yeah. So Wyoming now boots it. Davis taking it back at the 5, up past the 20, 25. Sheds a few tacklers up to the 26. And Vermont comes back for take 2 on offense.
Yeah, now I think, I mean, what do you do here if you're the Bull Moose? Do you keep airing it out, wait until they stop Olinger, or do you try to get Bradley some touches and get his workhorse going a little bit here?
Keep working. If throwing the ball is going to work right now, then keep doing that. But obviously, Davis needs to be used. He's a running back that needs that effort, and you hand it off to him on the first play. But they're going to only gain 2 yards from it. 2nd down and 8 after the hand of Bradley.
Yeah, Bradley Davis is one of those running backs that can be explosive on any play. But, I mean, look at that QBR from Rudy after that first drive. One thing that the Bull Moose franchise in their history has not been afraid of is trying new quarterbacks, and they're doing it again in Season 10.
Yeah, he's going to move up in the pocket, and they're going to say that I think he got the ball off there. Yeah, so they're going to say no loss, 3rd and 8 after the pressure from the Cavalry.
Yeah, he felt the pressure, but he seems, I mean, rather composed for being a rookie. Do you worry about his ability to lead the team, just being so young and new to the league?
Not too terribly worried. I mean, obviously, gave him the keys to the offense very early, and he's looking pretty good. 3rd down and 8, going to throw this one over to Olinger, and Olinger caught the ball. Enough yards, though, and that's going to be 4th and 5. Vermont's going to have to punt this one away.
And Wyoming's doing what Wyoming needs to do, holding Vermont Bull Moose, which is no small task. And they're going to get the ball back, maybe some good field position, get Chris Dixon going again. Let's see what they can do.
Yeah, and now it's going to be Gunther Legg, the new punter in Vermont. Probably the most controversial move of the offseason for this Bull Moose crew was cutting punter Miguel Coconut and upgrading a position to Gunther Legg, a bronze punter. And they're going to take it up to the 31-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Cavalry.
How much roster movement was going on for Vermont this last offseason?
A fair bit. Mostly like the auxiliary and depth positions. The core of the team is pretty much the same. Like the highlight players are going to still be being the highlight players, but a lot of the depth guys popped out. A lot of the offensive line kind of made some changes in order to free up some cap space. So they're going to hand it off to Dixon, who gains nothing. And
averaging,
on special teams,
a dozen yards a carry. That's just crazy.
Yeah, but yeah, and also obviously special teams complete swap out. Sven Lederhosen for the Warfield and Miguel Coconut for Gunther Legg.
Okay, very good.
2nd and 10 for Wyoming. Hand off to Chris Dixon again. Dixon's gonna go right up the middle. They're going to say he only gained 2. Or 4. Bit of a conservative spot, I got to say. And now we're going to see Jack P. What he does with his arm.
Yeah, interesting observation I just made. Seeming that you're playing one of the best running backs in the league, it's interesting that the Bull Moose come out in a 3-man front defense.
Yeah, that's mostly to protect against the potential passing targets. And that is what... You go up and that sort of stuff occasionally. There's a huge play to Deshaun Foster after expecting. And Jack Pekarchik goes up to Rudy Rohan and says, "Listen here, young kid. I got some talent too. I got a cannon."
I'm not sure that was Foster. I think that was the tight end.
Oh, Dax Lewis, I think then.
I think that might have been Dax Lewis, who has been struggling the last few seasons, but maybe sparking an old flame here, or igniting an old flame, as they say.
Yeah, he's a long-time member of this team, even back to their days in Portland. Throw to Chris Dixon. Dixon, oh my goodness! Makes a man silly, and he's going to gain 4 yards.
Oh, man, I love watching this game. So much history. Even though Vermont's a new team, there's still so much history within the franchise, and these are just 2 solid teams. This is just a good game to watch.
Never mind with the legacy between the 2 owners. Jack P. obviously getting his start under Loggins over in Portland all the way back in season 5. Deshaun Foster gains 3 on the play. It kind of made sense for these 2 to be going head-to-head here on opening night for Game of the...
Yeah, definitely. I'm feeling good about Season 10. I think the teams have been looking good. What I love most is the competitiveness of these games, -1 in particular so far. But the rest of them have been fun to watch and rather close.
Yeah, Dixon's going to pile over the line. First down for the Cavalry. And this is a pretty solid display for Wyoming at this point.
Wyoming just eating up the clock. This might be the quickest game we've had so far in week 1 at this rate.
1:58 to go here in the first quarter. Jack P is going to dump it to Chris Dixon. And Dixon, even with all that time, gains 9 on the play. Leaves you wondering why Vermont was left in such a soft coverage. Consider what they knew was back there.
Yeah. One thing that I want to touch on here while we're waiting for this next play is the, I don't know what you call it. What do you call it? A scroller? A banner? A scrolling banner?
Right.
I don't know what you call it, but big thanks to Jake for setting that up. We got an offsides penalty.
And that's going to be a free play for Wyoming across the line. Even with the impressive stop there by the Vermont linebacker, they're going to be going down to the 16-yard line. Second red zone trip in as many drives for the Cavalry. And yeah, it's going to be exactly what we thought it was, on the bulldozer. Acquired from Memphis through a very long and complicated series.
Yep, so we got a fresh set of downs and only 16 yards to go in total to get 6 points. Can Wyoming get their first touchdown of the season here?
We'll have to. They're going to hand it off to Dixon again, and Dixon swallowed up in the backfield Loss of 3 on the play, and Chris Dixon, 65 yards on 8 carries. Even with Fully Bonolo stopping him for a lead, he's been looking unstoppable.
Yeah, I mean, those are good numbers for the first quarter of any football game.
Yeah, especially with how things have been looking so far this week. A lot of running backs have been struggling. 2nd and 13 now for the Cavalry. Hand off to Dixon again, and Dixon! Back-to-back no-gain plays. Vermont's defense, and Fully Bonolo in particular, seems to have finally woken up now that they're in the red zone.
And that's what Vermont has to do. In my opinion, the strategy here is stop them on 1st and 2nd, because the defense that they have set up right now is meant to stop the pass. So,
Free play here.
oh,
And that's,
my.
oh, he dropped it.
And they are most likely going to decline this penalty, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Yep.
That's a tutty.
Yep. Shot core there, wide open in the back of the end zone. Vermont looking a little bit dazed and confused on defense. Was that Todd Taylor kind of hanging?
I'm not sure. The only thing I could see was Foster, baby.
Yeah, only guy available out there. And Wyoming, 12 seconds remaining in the first quarter, set to take a 10-7 lead. Should this extra Marcus Vernon go through, kick is up, and it's good. Wyoming ahead of Vermont 7.
We've got ourselves a good game here, Jack P. If you are watching the game live right now, hit that like button. It definitely helps us out.
Yeah, we have a game going final. If you're in the other game, Charleston beating Green Bay 41-14 as Charleston coming out firing 41 unanswered after going down 14-0 against Green Bay.
Are you kidding me? That's crazy. I bet Jake is pissed.
And so it's 10 on Vermont's own 25-yard line. 8 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Rowe hung out in a heavy set formation. Expect a run from Bradley. No, they're actually going to throw the ball. They're going to swing it out to Bradley, and Bradley gets his bit of the day, a 5-yard run, a 5-yard reception to end the quarter.
That was just a good job by Wyoming, not letting Bradley have enough time to shake that tackle, swarming, hitting their lines, and getting to Bradley Davis with multiple defenders, so he couldn't make any progress.
Yeah, because that's when Bradley is most. When you give him a little bit of space, when you give him time to make moves, when he can kind of go into when he can kind of slow down time. Focus on just you. 2nd and 5 now. Hand off to Davis again. Davis gets the first down. Works it up to the 38. Even if he's kind of being overshadowed right now by Chris Dixon, Bradley still showing that he is the heart and soul of the Vermont offense.
Yeah, tough run by Bradley Davis. I mean, these are just 2 top-tier running backs that we get to watch tonight.
1st and 10 once more, and it's a free play for Vermont. They're going to hand it off to Bradley once more. They're going to gain probably 2 yards, but they'll just take the penalty. That's exactly what they're going to do. That's going to be on the gun, Eric Cartier. Young man out of Colorado. Say that he went to a park in the southern side of the city a lot of times. 1st and 5 now for Vermont. Ball's on their own 43. Heavy set look again. Going to be a handoff to Davis, and Davis gets another first down. Moving those chains is deadly.
Yeah, Davis looking down the field, doing good, but gosh, you got to keep your eyes open. Could have been wide open down the field if he would have just kept bouncing it out.
Last thing about APF, it's always one man away from disaster. Rudy Rohan's now going to roll out, throw it to Bradley again.
That's an all-star, baby.
Yeah, it's an all-star. The season 9 draftee. Another key into this offense. And I mean, using a fullback in the passing game, risky call there by the coach. We'll have a talk with him. And by that, I mean, I'll go over and look in the mirror for a little bit.
Talk to yourself per usual.
Yep, I do that a lot. You can ask my parents. I did that a lot as a child. 2nd and 5 now. Ball's on the 47. Could be another deep drop for Rudy Rohan. Throws over the middle, and that incomplete. Pass intended for, I think that's Gideon Dooley.
Somebody needs a talking to. That was just dropped. It was just dropped.
Yeah, catch that football, Gideon, or otherwise you will be on another team next week. Because I those calls. 3rd and 5 now. I-Pro look for the Bull Moose. First time we've seen this today from them. They're going to wide over the middle, and that is caught. Olinger. Oh, no, that's Woodson. Woodson again, the tight end.
Great seam route by the threat, Woodson. I mean, that's pretty.
Yeah. It might be my favorite route in football. A good tight end seam.
Yeah, that's how you use them.
Yeah. Defenses are distracted by what the receivers are doing. Quarterback just has a nice, easy pitch and catch. It's like a work of art, really.
It really is. That was pretty. And we got 27 yards to go for the Bull Moose.
Hand off to Davis again. Davis is going to be swallowed up in the backfield. Loss of 2 on the play. And now we kind of enter into a bit of a precarious position for Vermont, where they're probably going to pass the ball here, but you don't want to lose a lot of yardage because you're kind of at the edge of what Orlando Warfield can do. Right around here at like the 30 to the 35. It can be dangerous. Drop back. Rudy Rohan throws over the middle. Oh, that's dropped.
Oh, no.
Oh,
that's fullback?
Oh, stop.
It's those padded gloves. It's the padded gloves.
Unfortunately, those do not constitute the equivalent of a soft hands animation.
Like catching them with pillows on your hands.
Yeah, you can try and do it, but it won't really work out. Shotgun look for me. I think this is the first time we've seen him come out like this today.
Looks like we've got some gun straight action. Will we see a ball down the sideline?
No, they tried to do it, but it was tipped incomplete. I think that was intended for Blair, but Dracul just sits on it. And no, that was actually intended, I think, for Richard Hung.
Yeah, just a little bit of air under that ball, Rudy.
Yeah. Still not fully accustomed to the speed of the WFA quite yet. But Orlando Warfield not to attempt the field goal from about 45 yards out. Should he make this, will be tied up at 10 apiece. These two teams not slowing down against each other.
No, and could we get a tied ball game with this kick?
Kick is up, and it's good. Vermont has tied Wyoming, and Orlando Warfield, throughout training camp, I gotta say, as the person who's kind of this whole thing unfold, Warfield, he has the capabilities as a kicker to possibly run, even for maybe kicker of the year, which I know that it's crazy to say. And I know Jake's going to disagree with me because T.T. McGee, in fact, exists, but he regressed. Orlando Warfield has not.
That's fair enough. Whatever happened to Lederhosen?
I just saw that there was an upgrade available at kicker.
You got the space.
Yeah. And also the fact that when it came time for re-signings, there was a lot of guys out there. I had to let some guys walk. Some tough choices needed to be made, but I re-signed Bradley, re-signed the defensive backfield, and, from there, put the pieces back together. Free agency with good bounty, though. I'll say that much.
That's right.
1st and 10 now. Ball's on the 24. They're going to hand Dixon, and Dixon gains 3 on the play, 6.7 averaging on 10 attempts. And that's one of the new guys, Muhammadvar Ravamadim, the actual first signed to Vermont as he was acquired in a trade with Boston.
Well, you're doing a great job pronouncing these names tonight.
They're going to hand it off to Dixon to the outside. Dixon bounces it. Oh, the stiff arm of the century, gains 2 yards. But he did make a defense silly.
I'm not sure how old Dixon is at this point, but the guy's still got it.
Especially considering how much his body's been put through, all the wear and tear. I mean, it's incredible, the fact that he's lasted this long. Jack P goes over the middle. That's going to be caught for a down up to the 39 of Wyoming. And that's going to be, I think that's... Yeah,
Walker.
that's a Walker. Yeah, Walker.
And maybe that's going to be the secret sauce for Wyoming, hitting some of these receivers that we don't give a lot of credit yet. And maybe that's kind of what they're looking at.
1st and 10 once more. Going to be a pitch out to Dixon. And Dixon, oh my goodness, swallowed up in the backfield. The Vermont defensive unit finally keying in on Chris Dixon. It seems like they're struggling a little bit to finish off these drives, right? When you're on defense, 3 good plays is what you need. Vermont's been getting 2. They haven't been getting 3.
Yep, that's right. I will say that the Bull Moose are just doing a good job getting multiple guys on Dixon. And I'm not talking in a sexual way.
Yes, this may be the WFA where that is all what's on the mind of half the league. They're going to throw this one out. Dixon in the flat, wide open, gains a good bit of the yardage back. And realistically, that's all Dixon needed to do. He just needed to get the yardage back, make it manageable. Now this opens the playbook back up a little bit more.
Yeah, here we go. Now all eyes are on Foster.
Yeah, Deshaun Foster, Todd Taylor. As mentioned in the pregame show, that was the matchup to watch. See how it goes down here. Pekarsik in the shotgun. Pekarsik throws sideline. That's wide open. That's going to be across the midfield stripe to the 44. That's Giraffe Reeves.
What? Was it the pump fake? I don't know, but that guy was wide open.
I mean, just like, wow. Just the diversity of receivers we're getting here. I was expecting the Deshaun Foster show in the passing back. But so far, Pekarsik has found everyone but Foster, it seems.
Yeah, who is this team? I mean, showing that they can share the ball. They have more than 2 players on their team. It's amazing.
Look who it is. Look who caught that.
Well, I mean, you got to expect it at this point, but I am just impressed with Wyoming's offense right now.
Yeah, it's definitely not the same beast that we've been expecting. The very slow, methodical, almost Army-esque offense has now come in, and they're looking pro team. Ain't that strange? Handoff to Dixon again. Dixon only gaining a single yard, and that's going to set up 3rd and 4.
3rd and 4, you have options. You have options here if you're the Cavalry. I would almost say give that ball to Dixon right up the middle. Take a risk.
Oh, yeah, and look at this. Vermont's in the nickel. This is kind of the sort of thing that you'd want to see. They're going to toss incomplete right into the hands of Todd Taylor. First time we mentioned him today.
Wow.
One of the prime members of this Bull Moose secondary.
One thing you do not want to do is open up the floodgates for interceptions for that Vermont secondary.
No, it's kind of where if they get one pick, it just becomes a levy of picks. And, throughout training camp, if there was anything the offense was able to do well when it came time for that, getting points off turnovers.
Definitely.
Now when it comes to punt, and they're gonna back up Vermont to the 6th.
What a great kick!
Yeah, and I feel, Colin, one of the bigger things that's going to be underrated about this new playbook rule set, punters are going to be so valuable because, even if this game's kind of disproving that, running backs are still struggling a bit. So if you can get those delays and you can push them all the way back, you can turn good coffin corners into safeties really easily.
You're not wrong, and I think we've been seeing higher-tiered punters the last couple seasons, and I think people are starting to notice that there is a significant difference if you can just fork up a little bit of money for a good punter.
Yeah, I mean, that's the reason why even I had adjustment in the offseason. You got to spend the money you got. Second and now for Vermont, 1v1 at the bottom there with Olinger. They're going to hand it off to Davis again. Davis!
Whoa.
Oh, he's given too much room to operate, and he gets the first down. Davis hasn't been able to get any of those big plays just because Wyoming's been sitting on the ball forever and a day.
I love the agility here. The hurdle, the juke, and the shake and the tackle. Wow.
Makes you almost miss him, doesn't he?
I miss him so much.
Yeah, because he's just such an electrifying player. Not like he's a very pounded up, we're gonna run it down your throat sort of guy. But Dixon, he just finds all the pizzazz. He reminds you of a Sanders style back.
That's right.
They're gonna throw it this time for Vermont. That's gonna be a gain of 7. And I think that's Otis Boudreaux.
Otis Boudreaux is a hugely underrated wide receiver on this team. He shows up when it counts, and he is a really good target.
Yeah, him and Richard Hung, it's been really hard to determine who to put at the 3 and the 4. It might go back and forth week to week. They're going to hand it off to Davis, and Davis a yard. Makes it 3rd and 4, and they're probably going to run this down to the 2-minute warning.
Yep. You know who we haven't seen a lot of this game?
Who?
Since the first drive? Olinger.
Yeah, they haven't been utilizing Olinger a lot. Honestly, neither have we seen Sheehan. The two bombastic receivers that everyone was hyping up out of this Vermont team, and by everyone, I mean myself.
I love that.
I looked for the Bull Moose. And they're going to heed our call, and no, they throw it to Woodson, and Woodson drops it after getting hammered in the back.
Not a bad attempt there from Rudy. I almost put all of that blame on Woodson there, but I can't blame Rudy for picking that big target.
Yeah, it seems like Rudy, has been having a pretty solid opening game. We've seen a lot worse debuts. We've seen a lot worse quarterbacks starting teams this year.
I would say that these incompletions aren't Rudy's fault.
No, he's doing the best he can. It's just sometimes the receiver's a little bit, sometimes the receiver isn't ready for the ball. Sometimes the defender gets in the way. It's just little things. But I think if Vermont can really fix those tiny mistakes that are being made, it can open up the floodgates, and Wyoming better be ready.
Yep. Wyoming is ready for this drive with a bunch formation.
Minute 49 left, and they get the ball to start the second half. They're going to go for broke here. They're going to pitch it out to Davis. And Davis is going to get 3 on the play, and they are draining the clock. Bit of an interesting maneuver, considering they're probably looking to score heading into halftime. Second and 7 now for Wyoming. 4-3 look out of Vermont. And that's going to be a incompletion to Brown. Did look like that Pekarczyk had led him just a little bit too far.
Sorry, Jack. I had to respond to some commissioner duties, but I'm back now.
All right, no worries. You're good. Third down and 7. To the bottom of your screen. Dime 3-2 look for the Bull Moose. Pekarczyk launches one deep. That's caught down the sidelines. That is going to be a Cavalry town. Minute 07 left. And Wyoming launches into the lead with Deshaun Foster.
Are you sweating yet, Jack?
Yeah, well, I have to keep a neutral sound here as a broadcaster, but yeah, that was not good. Because it seemed like the cover was blown. Todd Taylor was out of position. No one was there. And also, can we talk about how small Todd Taylor is compared to Deshaun Foster?
That's Jeffrey Chin, my friend. Right there, number 37.
Yeah,
Chin. He couldn't get it done right there. It seemed like he was just, I guess, reading towards the middle of the field, but Foster just had the speed on him, could not catch up.
And that's going to be a kick and good for Wyoming. Takes a 17-10 lead. Minute 7 seconds left, and Vermont now left with some questions to answer because they only got 67 seconds to score because they don't get the ball back.
Yeah, I have seen this Vermont team in the past score with way less time before a half. Anything is possible. If I were you, I wouldn't go anywhere because this could get interesting.
Yeah, so they're going to take this one up 27 from Bradley Davis. Bradley, of course, as the kick returner, been doing a fairly solid job.
Yeah, definitely. You lose all risk with Bradley as your kick returner since he's a primary player, which I think is a really smart move. Good decision.
Ball's on the 27, single back offset look for Vermont. Back throw over the middle, that's tipped and complete. Now that one I think we can pin on Rudy. That was a little bit of a questionable pass.
Yep, I agree.
Man, we need more out of you. Where you been today? Don't worry, man.
Oh, Bradley Davis blowing chunks on the field.
Yeah, he ain't happy.
He does not worked on his endurance this offseason. He wasn't ready.
2nd and 10. 3 look for the Bull Moose. They're going to hand it off to Davis. And Davis, he sheds a tackler. Can't shed 2, and Vermont forced to bleed a timeout.
Yeah, if he would have broken that second one there, I think it was off to the races. But now we're left with 6 yards, and I think we finally might see a little bit of action or at least a look towards Olinger.
Third down and 6. 3 wide look, and they're going to hand it off right up the middle, and that's not going to be enough. 4th down for Vermont, and they're going to have to just kind of bleed the clock and hope that they can get the ball away.
Sounds like the Bull Moose are going to decide to be a little more conservative here and decide not to go for it. Instead, just take this to halftime. They get the ball back, right?
No. Wyoming gets the ball back.
Oof, okay. Can't say I agree with the strategy, but hey, I'm not the coach anymore.
No. High punt from Gunther Legg. And that's going to slowly bleed this clock further and further. 5 seconds left, and now we'll see what Wyoming comes up with.
5 seconds. You even risk it. You just give it to Dixon, right?
Well, let's see. They're going 3 wide, so they're doing something. They're gonna pitch it out to Dixon. I nearly had a heart attack because I thought he got away. So that's gonna be the end of the first half. Cavalry up on the Bull Moose, the 2 smallest states in the union by population, providing some of the action here in the WFA in the first half. We look at these halftime stats, and you can see where the big problem is for Vermont. They haven't had the ball.
Yep. Haven't had the ball. Not getting it done on the ground either.
No, at least they're not doing enough. And I think it's also kind of interesting the fact that to a certain extent they kind of abandoned the pass on that last drive, because you see what can happen.
Yeah.
As they're showing right here, can happen when they leave the guys open. You know, they have good receivers. Seems like the play calling is not quite clicking in the way that it should. It's like everything's about 1% off where it should be. And unfortunately for them, 1% is manifesting in being down by 7 with, granted, a whole half of football to go. And I'll tell you this, Colin, in preseason training camp, these Bulls come alive in the second half.
Yep, and there's no doubt from anybody that both these teams have top-notch players, but week 1 can be full of surprises, whether it be lack of preparation, lack of team chemistry, still trying to figure out your playbook, getting the new guys settled in. There's so many variables, but the first half is enough to shake some of that stuff out, and like you said, the second half is a different ballgame.
Yeah, and especially, again, if Vermont can really hit their stride on offense and get those couple plays going. You know, you need... What Wyoming's been capitalizing on above all else is big plays. We are looking at these highlights. You remove these 3 plays from Wyoming's catalog, it's completely... Vermont's probably up 10-0.
Well, I'm excited to see what kind of adjustments have been made in the first half. I'm ready to see some high-scoring, high-flying offenses here.
Oh, that should be coming in the second half. If anything has been told to me through these pre-season training camps here up in Burlington.
Where's the chain gang crews going?
They are leaving the stadium. They have quit. Apparently, Wyoming forgot to pay them or something. All that money went into re-signing fees.
only signed them for the first half of the game. Now they're trying to find some people in the stands to come down, but it looks like they took their equipment with them. No, they're back. They're back. That was awesome.
The strike lasted about 30 seconds. So anyways, 1st and 10 here. Ball's on their own 20 for Wyoming. Jack dropping back, and that is going to gain them 3 yards. Bit of an interesting play call because it worked for them so far.
Yeah, I don't know why you check it down to a 3-yard curl right there. I don't see the point in those plays when you got a running back like Dixon who's going to guarantee you 3 to 4 yards a carry, but that's just me.
2nd down and 7. Pitch the outside to Dixon, and Dixon's going to lose a yard. 3rd and 8. Now we're going to come across what has been the biggest issue for Vermont is these 3rd and long conditions. They've just been... Apparently, their defensive back has just been seeing ghosts.
Well, it looks like they might decide to man up a little bit. Maybe that could be a good adjustment here.
3rd down and 8. Throw deep over the middle. That's tipped. Incomplete. Could have been disaster for Vermont. And they're going to get the ball back. Yeah, they knew it was coming. They basically just swarmed to whoever's running deep. That's what Wyoming's trying to do, and that's exactly what they did.
There were 3 to 4 guys there, which is great, but has me really concerned for who the other 2 to 3 guys they were supposed to be guarding. Because if Jack P finds them, they're going to be wide open.
Yeah, but that time, though, it clearly seemed to work.
It did. It did.
No pressure for the punters. That was going to get Bradley. Bradley spinning around, and Bradley gets it to across the midfield stripe.
Bradley Davis is coming out, showing some frustration from the first half. He's going to make something happen for sure. He wants the ball.
Yeah, you can tell when a running back's itching. You can tell when they're just kind of a little bit jittery. Those are when they're the absolutely most dangerous players in the football field. iPro, look for Vermont. Be a deep drop from Rohan. Throws over the middle. Caught to the 30. And that's going to be another huge gain. And that's for the first time this second half. Oling involved. Welcome back to the football game.
Good route, good placement by Rudy. Doesn't get much better than that. Threw it just short of that free safety hanging over the middle.
Yeah, the only downside is that maybe he didn't hit his guy in stride. Honestly, you'd rather just see the ball get caught.
I like it like that because if he would have caught that in stride, he could have got absolutely pancaked.
Yeah, so 1st and 10. Deep drop for Rudy. Long bit deep, and that's caught again to the 10.
You can feel the energy shifting with those two plays right there.
Yep. And that's the threat again. James Woodson. You know, after this game, I'm going to have to look and see how Santa Fe did and how Ryan did. Because I want to see how that trade balanced out. Two of the best catching guys in the game.
I think it was a mutually beneficial trade there because, if I'm not mistaken, Ryan Roosevelt won. Oh, no!
Oh, no! Oh, what a disaster!
Y'all see that pick?
That's a lineman! Is it not?
That's a defensive end!
Shoot. I've not seen that in a while.
He had Davis on the flat. He had Olinger going high. He threw it between the two. I don't know what the... Huh?
The only positive thing that you can say about that from the Vermont side is that it was a lineman, so you had time to catch him before he took it to the end zone.
Ball's on the dive now for Wyoming. Jack P looking around, throws it for Dixon. Dixon gains 4 on the play up to the 29.
Anyways, what I was saying about Santa Fe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Ryan Roosevelt scored the game-winning touchdown for the Prow in their Week 1 matchup against the Crabs.
2nd down and 6. For Wyoming after the disastrous turnover from Rudy Rohan. Handoff of the middle to Chris Dixon. Dixon gains a single yard, 3rd and 5. Now it's time for Vermont to come back out and make another play.
3rd and 5 leaves the Cavalry with some options. This is when football turns into a chess match, Jack P.
Yeah. Third, they're going to hand it off to Dixon up the middle. Dixon, not enough. The Vermont defense holds just enough, and they're going to get their offense back out on the field for another shot.
Not enough from Dixon, but not from a lack of effort. It's just hard to drag 3 bull moose along with you. Those are some heavy mother truckers.
And that's going to be a high punt. And Bradley takes up to the 32. And all that for a significantly worse state of field position after a pick in what was looking to be a game-tying drive for Vermont.
Vermont's going to learn from their mistakes here, but man, they were hot last drive, and I think we're going to see that carry over here.
1st and 10, balls on the 32. Deep drop from Rudy. Going to throw it over the middle. That's going to be a gain of 3 to Otis Boudreau. As time melts now halfway through the third. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to WFA Game of the Week. Been a barn burner so far. 2nd and 7. Dropping deep, he's going to launch it deep to Blair Sheehan, incomplete.
Trying to get Sheehan in the mix. Has he had any receptions this game?
He had 1 during the first drive, and it was a very reception. And granted, that is what they want to use Blair for. Blair is primarily a deep threat guy, and a red zone target. So not a bad play call, just better defense is the issue. 3rd and 7 now for Vermont. Another deep drop from Rudy Rohan. Throw over the middle. That's going to be midfield caught. Jeremy Olinger. 2 drives, catches, and he has been keeping this game in check for Vermont.
Good strong hands from Olinger, catching the ball during impact from the defender. Whoa.
And they're going to lift one deep again to Blair, and I think Blair just kind of forgot the football was there or something. I don't know what happened.
I don't know. It seems just like the whole Bull Moose offense was just ignoring the Cavalry there. Rudy just steps up into the pocket, bumping up against defenders to throw that ball.
Second down and 10. Ball is on midfield for Vermont. Going to hand it off of the middle, and they'll lose them a bunch of yards. As Eric Cartier, if there's any been really standing out on defense, it's him.
He is standing out all right. He is about busting out of that uniform, too.
Yeah.
That's a thick boy.
Watch your side! Watch your side!
3rd down and 14. Gun straight look for the Bull Moose. Oh my gosh!
Cartier says, "Don't talk about me like that, announcers." Whoa.
Oh gosh. He just flew in. I didn't even have time to properly react to it.
That was absolutely phenomenal. I mean, that's what you call penetration. If I've ever
Bunt
seen
away
it.
from Gunther Legg. This is going to be fielded around the 15, taken to the 18. And now, if you're Vermont on defense, you got to get frustrated. This back out on the field.
Yeah, I'm frustrated for Vermont right now. And it's not because I have any personal ties to the team, but I want to see some offense. I know they have it in them. I know both teams have some good offense here, but we have yet to see it in the second half.
Hand it off to Dixon. Dixon gets stopped right at the line, 2nd and 10. He's been coming back down a little bit more this half.
Yeah, we're starting to see that average yards per carry slowly tick down. Was it 6 yards a carry? Now at 3.4.
Well, at one point it was at 12, so I get victory. 2nd and 10. Handoff once again to Dixon. Dixon's not going to get the first down. Makes it a 3rd and 3, though. Playbook's wide open.
Yep. Again, Vermont going to get another chance to stop a third down conversion from Wyoming, give them a little bit of motivation here.
Third down, and what was that sort of handoff? A disaster play from Wyoming is going to punt it away.
What a line stunt. That rip across the right side of the offensive line was right there when Dixon got the handoff. I mean, that could not be designed any better.
And it's going to be a low snap, nearly blocked, got the pressure up in his face. In comes Bradley up to the 42, so a net positive 8 yards for Wyoming, that little exchange.
All right. Great coverage, guys.
And Rudy Rohan will take the field again to try to regroup for their third drive of the second half.
Yeah.
First resulting in an interception.
Pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the next one was just bad drive on the whole. Gonna hand it off to Davis, and Davis, I don't know what sort of handoff they were trying to do there. No, that was actually Allstott, the fullback. They tried to get him to do a little bit too much.
Yeah, Allstott taking that to the strong side when I think that was a weak-sided handoff originally. Looked like there was a hole there, but Allstott didn't see it. So they're going to say, forget the running backs. Let's throw the ball.
Yeah. 2nd and 11. Missile down the field. That's incomplete, intended for Olinger.
Looked like somebody might have just bumped Rudy before he got that ball off. His own player stepped and threw that into an offensive lineman.
Seems nothing can go right for the Vermont offense on the second half.
All
After
small technical errors, but making a huge impact in what we're seeing so far this game.
3rd and 11, same formation as last time. Let's see if second time does the charm for Vermont. Oh, he gets sacked.
Offensive line didn't do anything. Joey Johnson chugging beer cans, slamming him on his helmet after that sack. Love that celebration.
That one there is on LaMarcus, the rookie the rookie guard. Completely missed the kicking assignment. Forgot who he was supposed to go for. So now they're going to have to punt this one away. That one's going to be a boom. We go into a field possession battle, it seems. Seems like Vermont could be her turnover. Or some sort of momentum flipping play.
Yeah, Wyoming has a good opportunity here to extend this to a 2-possession game, but they've had some trouble moving the ball.
1st and 10. I form look for Wyoming. Hand off the outside for Dixon. Den gets 5 on the play.
Dixon chugging along, breaking tackles, dragging Bull Moose down the field. You can't ask for more than 5 yards to carry, man.
Second and 5. Deep drop for Pekarczyk. That's going to be no gain, no loss. 3rd and 5.
That was a quick second down. Went from a really good start to the drive to now we're wondering if it's going to all end right here.
Yeah. 3rd and 5 now for the Cavalry. Throws one out to Dixon, and he gets into a struggle match. Not enough. 4th and 4. The Vermont defense, while their offense doesn't seem to be doing anything, their defense is keeping them in this game.
In the chat, Zach Holdorf says Dixon on someone's face.
I don't think that's how
funny.
that meme is supposed to work. Yeah.
Little volleyball action tonight. I came here for football, Jack.
Well, I think there's some football from Bradley Davis getting a few yards in the punt. Wouldn't be shocked if he's got more return yards than rushing yards, which is a little bit embarrassing, but, c'est la vie.
I want to see some B. Davis here.
Yeah, that definitely is what I like too. Heavy set in preseason training camp. These plays sometimes result in big moments. Hand off the outside. He's got those blocks. He did not blocks though. He gains 3.
Looked like Copeland the third was about to go out in front of him, but just didn't have the speed to hit that lead block. We're in the fourth quarter, folks. Throw up those 4s. Hit that like button if you haven't already. And buckle up for the fourth quarter.
Gee, already the fourth quarter? Man, time has whizzed by. And Rudy Rohan in his debut, an okay game, but needs to step up in the fourth quarter if he wants to appease himself to the boys from Burlington. 10 and 7. Hand it off to Bradley, and Bradley gained 4 on the play. 3rd and 3. Opens up the playbook a fair bit.
3 yards. I'm not really sure what we're going to see next here. I do like seeing I formation, though.
Anything.
Could be anything.
3rd down and 3 for Vermont. Hand off to Bradley. Bradley's got the blocking. He took himself out of first down yardage.
He was hesitant. He hesitated right there. Should have taken it straight up the field when he saw the gap. You saw the stutter step. It cost him the first down.
And now Vermont forced to punt it away again.
Uh-oh.
And no, they're going for it. They're on the field. They're looking to maybe make one jump off sides.
Oh!
And they are going to get it. First down, Bull Moose.
It's a Bull Moose miracle, folks.
And it's Eric Cartier, the man who had everything going for him.
Fat bastard.
No, actually, it's not against Cartier. It's against number 69 not having a day with that one. Oh, goodness.
Wow. And just like that, new breath of life. You can see it. You can see it in him right now. Bull Moose have a fresh set of downs.
The gutsy call and Rudy Rohan showing off his hard accountability, making adjustments at the line. He's seeing something he doesn't like. He's going to hand it off to Bradley. And I don't know why he ran with that. It'll lose yardage. Maybe this is a grand plot to make me suffer.
Oh, yeah. They just wanted to show you 3 more really bad plays, Jack. That's what APF's wanting to do.
2nd down and 15. 3 wide, Vermont.
Roll out.
Roll out for Rudy, and that's going to be incomplete. Wait,
What is happening?
Wait. Huh?
Bradley Davis caught that, but wanted the play to be over, but realized the play was still live and tried to take off.
At that point, if you see the ball approach, you just bat it down.
Do we need to do a WFA replay here?
I guess, yeah. I don't know what happened.
Well, let's see.
So he rolls out.
Rolling out. Yeah. Throws the ball. Caught. Davis thinks it's over. It's over, right? No, it's live. Run, Davis, run!
Jesus. So Vermont continues to move backwards because this is exactly how I was planning offense to operate. 3rd and 24. Oh, yeah, sure. Throw a check down on 3rd and 20. Jesus.
Maybe they should go for it.
Oh, please. Oh, God.
Well, it seems like that was all for nothing, but I don't know what to say about that, man. That is rough. That is hard to swallow.
Yeah, especially after they got Wyoming to jump. And now it's going to be up to the 19-yard line. And hopefully Vermont's defense can once again do what they did.
Yeah, and I think this is just about as deeply pinned as Wyoming has been this second half. So Bull Moose may not be putting points on the board, but I think they are slowly shifting the field into their favor.
Yeah, they're trying. Hand off to Chris Dixon up the middle. Dixon gets 6 on the play. 2nd and 4. Second and 4. And off the outside for Dixon, and Dixon's going to lose nothing, gain nothing. 3rd and 4.
Good read by Todd Taylor. Is that Todd Taylor right there? I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Good read by the corner to see the run and get that behind the line.
Third down and 4. Pump fake sidelines. They're going to call him short. I wonder if Kevin Say throws out the challenge flag for this one.
I wouldn't be surprised. They're calling it a catch, and I thought that was caught past the line.
Yeah. No, they're deciding it's not worth it. They're thinking Vermont's still too dangerous to score, and they're going to need all 3 timeouts. Punt is high in the air. Taken by Davis. Again, Davis picking up some blocks up to the 37. Time winding down. And this Vermont offense desperately needs to find something that works.
Yeah, they do. They tried the run game last drive. It was unsuccessful. I think maybe this time we're going to see them try the air.
And it sure looks like it. Their empty backfield shotgun look Bull Moose. They're going to chuck it over to Blair Sheehan. Sheehan gets 8 on the play. First time we've seen him in this half.
That was a good job keeping both feet in bounds right there on that out route. Very manageable, very doable second down right here.
Both feet inbounds and then went out of bounds. Stop the clock. Give Vermont just those precious few seconds that it looks like they're going to need because this game's looking down on the wire. 2nd and 2. Another throw from Rudy Rohan. Going to be caught to the 32.
Beautifully placed.
Olinger
awesome.
Finally the field position deadlock. We've been in for about a quarter and a half. With a beautiful play.
That was a perfect pass that takes Olinger over 100 yards receiving for this game. And it's a quiet 100, I think.
Well, apart from the firework ending, I can certainly agree with you. 1st and 10 look now for Vermont.
Whoa!
And Rudy avoids the sack. He's going to get tipped away and complete, though. What a job, though, to avoid the pressure.
Awareness was incredible by Rudy right there. I don't even know how he knew he was coming. He just ducked at the exact time he needed to.
It's a spidey sense.
It was an awful pass, but it was cool to watch.
Yeah. You know, secretly Rudy Rohan is actually a man. 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Rohan throws the outside. That's only again. Was a little bit too far out because he probably could have gotten the score. But 1st and 10 to the 50 now, and Vermont is finally back in business.
Yeah, that's right. Beggars can't be choosers right there. You got to be happy with what you get and not ask for the extra gravy, Jack P.
Oh, yeah, because I know what's been happening with the extra piece so far in these positions. Bradley gets some blocks to the outside. Please going to get taken down. And
They're
unfortunately,
close.
that's going to start moving the clock to about 5 minutes left. Which, when you're in this position as Vermont, you got to be careful with exactly what you're doing during this time frame. Because what happens now is going to dictate what you can do towards the end of the game if you're still down. Second and 10, going to hand it off to Rohan, to Davis again, going to lose 3 yards. And now, I guess they're going to have to throw it in a forward direction.
Yep. Davis having a hard time.
3rd and 13, deep drop from Rohan. Goes back to the no!
That's an interception for the Cavalry. Again, that's Juice Hazard. Bull Moose getting into the red zone and turning it over via interception. That makes twice now. And that is bad news if your name rhymes with Pack G.
James Woodson was right there, nearly had it. Juice Hazard jumped in the way, though. 4-4 left, and now Wyoming can go into milk the clock mode. Chris Dixon, though, he's going to run it away himself to the 40-yard line.
Jack is trying so hard to stay unbiased in this situation, but I can be as biased as I want because I'm a commissioner. This is absolutely just, I don't know what you call it, a slap in the face. Dixon, I've seen that run several times last season. That's just what he does. You think it's just going to be a nice milk the clock run, then all of a sudden it's 20, 30, 40 or more yards.
Yeah, just ran that one right where Vermont apparently wasn't. They're going to run to the outside again with Dixon. Dixon's going to gain nothing, lose nothing. And now it's time that they're going to start milking the clock like never before.
Vermont needs to do something drastically. One thing we have not seen from Vermont is a turnover. We need an interception here.
No.
The Bull Moose are known in the past for having, 2, 3, 4 turnovers per game. That makes a big difference, but you got to start with one.
2nd and 11. Hand it off to Dixon again. Dixon has a hole. He's going to throw it for a gain of 9. 3rd and 2. Oh, this is going to be everything for Vermont. They desperately stop.
Yeah, this is probably the most crucial 3rd down conversion attempt that we have come across all day. You can hear a hush from the Bull Moose fans, and the Wyoming fans are on their feet.
3rd and 2. It's all to play for here. Ball snap, pitch out to Davis. Davis going to lose yards. That is good. That is when the good thing happens if you're a fan. They're going to take this to the 2-minute warning. And now Vermont has 2 minutes, 3 timeouts, and all to play for to get 7 points on the board, which they are so desperate for.
That was a beautiful play by number 8 there on the outside blitz, shedding the block, getting in the backfield for the tackle for loss.
That was fully Bonolo. on the stop there. And now we go from less than 2 minutes ago. I'm surprised they didn't do any pressure on the punt. Fair catch by Bradley. 89 yards in a minute 54. All 3 timeouts in hand. Vermont's got big potential. They can air it out.
What are you wanting to see?
Go route to Blair Sheehan. We haven't seen it yet today, but in preseason training camp, oh my goodness, it works.
All eyes on Big Blair.
All eyes on 2 rookies. Throws it over the middle. There's Blair. Not the go route that Vermont wanted, but that rookie-to-rookie connection already staying strong. Minute 41 left, 100 seconds to go. Rudy throwing it deep to the corner. Oh, there's Olinger.
One-handed catch by Boudreaux, that was, Jack P.
Oh, shoot. It's the other guy. There's so many great receivers. And Rohan again throws to the outside. I think that's Richard Hung or something. No,
that's All-Star. You need to stop calling your own players. You're getting them wrong. It's embarrassing.
How many I have ran like at least 30 sims of this game. I should know these players like the back of my hand. I don't apparently, because I'm losing my mind.
Still 3 timeouts in their back pocket. The Bull Moose are looking at a 2nd and 7. Offset eye, Bradley Davis.
Throw over the middle to Blair. Again, Blair gets 8 yards, 3rd and 2. They're hurrying it up. They still have all 3 timeouts. I mean, the way they're playing, I don't blame them for really keeping the mojo going. They're going to find Blair again. Blair turned field. He's not going to get tackled out of bounds, though.
We need a timeout here.
Ball's down to the 30.
That's deep.
That's going to be Blair again. Tipped and complete.
Oh. Gosh, I thought that was an interception. That was in and out of the hands of number 27. I don't have his roster there, his name there, but gosh. Gutsy pass.
51 seconds left. 2nd and 10. Ball's on the 30. Vermont is driving down the field after looking anemic all second half. Quick drop from Rohan. Rohan is good sacked, and Vermont forced to call their first time out. 2 plays, get 15 yards.
Rudy feeling the pressure from the Cavalry defensive line, but Vermont looking at a long 3rd down, but they have 2 shots at it here with lots and lots of good targets and 2 timeouts.
3rd and 15. Vermont all to play for. Rudy dropping back, throws over the middle. There's Blair again. No, that's Richard Hung. Richard Hung. The deep threat guy, the receiver 3 for this week, gets his first call of the game. And oh my goodness, could it have been more important?
I love that. Is he having neck problems? I see his neck roll.
Just kind of, he took it off the training facility one day, and I was like, yeah, I'm not going to fight. I'm not going to fight you for it.
Better safe than sorry. Yeah.
1st and 10 on Wyoming's 15. Rudy throws over the middle. Oh, that's caught. Down to the 5. 1 timeout, Vermont.
What a catch by the fullback.
That's going to get thrown to the corner. 1st and goal to 1. They're going to say Olinger got that.
Looked like Olinger got his hand up and 1 foot down. But the booth is going to review it.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, gosh. You only put down the WFA.
It looked like 1 to me. I don't know if he needs 1 or 2. I can't remember the exact rules here, but he's got 1. He's got 1. Yeah. I think that's going to stay.
We have the head coach, who apparently is named Ray Cunningham. I didn't know that. And they're going to keep it. They're going to keep it on. 1 yard to go for Vermont to tie it up. And these boys from Burlington ain't going to go home with a loss if they have anything to say about it.
No, this is where everybody knows it, but this is where you give Bradley Davis the ball up the gut, or you surprise him with Allstott with a dive.
1 yard to go for Glory. One timeout, 28 seconds. They're going to throw it to Davis. Davis lose yards. Back to the 4. 21 seconds and counting.
Oh, no.
This is not a... They call a timeout. They need to call a timeout. Where's the timeout? Deep drop. They're going to find Davis again. Davis not going to get enough. Finally call it. Oh, Jesus. Oh, God.
You better pass the ball here. You better hope they pass the ball here. I'm not sure you'll get 2 plays out of it if they run the ball and fall short. You better hope they pass the ball.
3rd and goal. Ball's on the 3. Shotgun for Rohan.
Let's see all slants.
I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know
Let's
what
see
they're
all
going to do.
slants. It's all slants.
Slants. It's incomplete. 4th and goal. 1 play to decide this game. Oh, gosh, I'm sweating bullets.
Oh, man. Run that play back. Run that play back.
Woodson had it. Woodson had it.
This is what it's all about. We are all on the edge of our seats.
4th and goal from the 3. Same formation as last time. They're going to run it back here, Colin. Run. It's your time to shine. Rudy looking around. Touchdown! Woodson! Tying it up. Oh, he needs an extra point from Wolffield.
This is awesome. Woodson hanging in there. Rudy Rohan giving him a second chance, and that ties up the ball game. Well, I guess it doesn't tie up the ball game. Technically.
No. We ain't gonna say that yet.
We need old Gunther Boot, or whatever his name is, to get this.
Orlando Warfield.
Okay, Gunther should put
God,
it. Oh, my.
Zach Rose in the holder. Snap's good. Kick us up. It's good. We're tied in Wyoming.
We're looking at an overtime match. 2 overtimes in 1 week. Consider us spoiled, but I'm happy it's during game of the week, Jack.
Oh, sheesh. I don't know. This one's looking like an early contender for game of the year.
I thought I was done drinking, but I got to crack open another one for OT.
To everyone for tuning in, this has been a game to remember. 1 second left in Wyoming. I'm curious to see what they do. Are they going to play it safe and try and just go for overtime, or are they going to launch it deep and try and be on with a Deshaun Foster play?
I think you don't know. I don't know. I think we see Dixon with that play. Oh no, we just got a catch in there as to what's going to happen. Did you hear that? 50Z tight end cross coming our way.
Oh, here we go. 1 second left. A second left in regulation. 1 play to decide if it's over now. Throw over the middle. That's it. We're going to overtime. 4 quarters, not enough.
Wow, woo, wee, wow.
Oh, man.
Let's go to
4
overtime,
quarters.
Jack.
Yeah. 4 quarters, not enough. Sudden death. First score wins it here in Casper. And the Cavalry are set to receive the opening kickoff in overtime.
Do you feel like the Bull Moose have what it takes here? Do you think they've sparked a little flame from that last drive and they're ready to go?
I think so. They, again, like, all they need to do is not get the ball to around the 35 or the 40. If they can stop that and they can if they can play a field position battle, then I think right now, as we saw in that second half, Vermont can win field positions.
Yeah.
1st and 10. Ball is on the 25. In the 5th quarter. What a game this has been. Two titans of the league. Neither showing an inch. Pitch out to Dixon. Dixon's going to get a 2 gain on 1st down, 2nd and 8.
Looks like they're trying to get it to Dixon there with that. Was that a toss play? Was that what I saw?
I think so.
Going for the toss. Not sure that's the strategy I would go with. Just give it to him full steam ahead.
2nd and 8. The car hands it off to Dixon again. Dixon's always let loose. He's going to get up to the 41-yard line. And now for Vermont, they got to really lock in.
Yeah, that's the run that we've been expecting from Dixon. Good lead blocking. Good job shedding the first tackle, getting into the open field, giving Wyoming a fresh set of downs. Shotgun.
Shot look for Wyoming. Hand it off to Dixon out of the gun. That's a bit of a questionable call. 2nd and 14.
Yeah, I agree. Not sure if they were trying to catch him off guard there or what, but it didn't work as designed. Here comes the deep one, Jack.
Yeah, yo. Vermont better be ready.
Butt cheeks are clenched as we await to see how 50Z deep post plays out here for Wyoming.
Pekarsik drops back. Pekarsik throws. That's not going to be enough. They got it right to midfield. They needed to 49. 3rd and 1.
1 yard is what they need, but I don't know what their percentage is, but I'd say it's right around 50% on 3rd down conversions, maybe a little less.
Yeah, and Vermont, too, on defense, never avoiding disaster. 3rd and 1, a big play is needed from both ends of the football. They're going to throw it to the fullback. He's going to get the 1st down. He's going to get to the 46. Vermont not let up another yard.
Good awareness by the fullback, getting an extra couple yards after that catch there, spinning upfield. Wyoming knocking on field goal doors range right now.
1st and 10. Ball's on the 46. Pitch out to Dixon. Dixon loses it back to... That's crossed the midfield stripe. Yeah, they're going to back him up. That is good if you're Vermont, making that a bit harder.
Yeah, I think it's exactly what Vermont wants to do is force Wyoming to throw. They, like we said, they haven't had any turnovers through the air yet, but this is the weakest link in my opinion.
And they're going to catch it down to the 6th. Now they are right at the edge of Marcus Vernon's field goal range. If they can get us down here, I say they kick it.
Yeah, I think the smart play here is try to run the ball up the middle with Dixon to get the 1st down. If you can't, try your best to get that big leg out and kick the field goal.
The most important thing here, though, don't lose yards. If you lose yards, that's everything more complicated.
Yeah, we want a quick dive right here.
Hand off to Dixon. Dixon is gonna hit it to the 33. And Wyoming is just a few plays away from sealing.
Yeah, Wyoming's going to want to stick to the run here, not risking a sack. It would be foolish to throw the ball at this point, but they're going to be a little foolish.
They're feeling a little bit tomfoolery, a little bit goofy, if you were. Back to the 35. I don't know why I threw it there.
Yeah, that's not what you want. It's not worth the risk at this point. I'm not sure who's calling the plays for Wyoming right now, if it's Jack P. or if it's Captain Loggins. But somebody needs to have a conversation with whoever's calling the plays here.
2nd down and 12. I-form look for Cavalry. Jack P goes way back. He's going to launch it deep. Caught! That's it! That's the ball game!
And that is going to put the nail in the coffin here. I don't think we see the offense come back on the field after that. Riff is down. Foster is up to the 1. But we are going to most likely see a field goal unit come out onto the field and finish this off. Jack P., I'm sorry, you've done one hell of a job commentating, considering that Jake was MIA. We had an impromptu substitution with myself, but...
Vernon, kick up. Wyoming, hold on. They beat the Bull Moose in stunning fashion.
Wow. That was a great game. Ended not the way Jack P. or myself would have predicted, but it was fun to call.
Yeah. Close game all throughout. The main deciding factor, though, 2 red zone overs by Rudy Rohan that just cost it everything.
There seems like there was a lot of action, yet no action at all this game. I'm not quite sure how to articulate it, but
yeah.
Lower scoring than what I expected. Vermont really losing the game for themselves. They had the opportunity twice to score or at least get 3 points out of the drive, turning the ball over in the end zone. That one hurts. But there's still a lot of season left to be played. 11 more games. This is just week 1. And Wyoming is a good team. So congratulations to Wyoming and the Cavalry. Keep your head up, Vermont and Jack P.
Yeah.
It's going to be okay.
Yeah. That was close. Did all you could. But it just wasn't enough. As Wyoming holds on to beat the Vermont Bull Moose. Bull Moose's debut. Close but no cigars. They head back to Burlington to take on the Washington Wastelanders in a game where I'm sure this Bull Moose crew is looking for revenge.
Yeah, tough schedule ahead for Vermont as they are. Is it an away game? Is it at Washington?
It's home. It's home. It's the home opener.
Very good.
Yeah. Picard wins player of the game as his face looks back at me, my own creation, wins the game for the Cavalry. From all of us, I mean, really, what else is there to say?
Not a lot. That was a bittersweet moment for Jack P. and myself, but I think this might go down as a classic for the WFA. It was a good game.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you say we wrap things up here, Jack P?
Yeah. From all of us here at the WFA, we'd like to thank you for tuning in. Be sure to keep your eyes peeled for the rest of the weekend. We've got more WFA action coming up tomorrow and Monday. We say so long and have a fantastic night.